Yo, what is up guys? Delboy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully you guys are doing well. If you're new here, smash that like, hit subscribe, all of that good stuff. Dare I say this video is more positive than some of my recent videos? Maybe. I mean, it's a nice change of pace rather than discussing Tony Bellew's weird relationship, one-way relationship with Anthony Joshua, terrible commentators, terrible individuals in the sport of boxing, whether it be promoters, fighters, fathers or the likes, talking about rabid fanboy channels on YouTube, etc. It's all well and good ranting about that sort of thing, but it appears that we have positive news in regards to Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence Jr. Of course, this fight would be for undisputed in the welterweight division. Now, we've had false dawns in regards to this fight before. Of course, back end of last year, there was talks about this fight happening. The negotiations eventually fell through in a public manner, and many of us were left disappointed. However, the Ring magazine are reporting that Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford appears set for June 17th in Las Vegas. And according to this report, the official announcement is very likely to take place on the Gervonta Davis-Ryan Garcia card. Of course, if this news is true and it does transpire, that is huge for boxing. It's one of the fights in boxing that just needs to happen, because we're losing time at the end of the day. Terence Crawford is, 35 years old? Errol Spence Jr., 33 years old? Plus he doesn't live a life outside the ring. So, you know, the time is running out to make this fight. It needs to happen now, while both guys are still in and around their best. And yeah, June 17th wouldn't be too long to wait, you know, only a couple of months away. I truly hope this fight happens. Again, I think boxing needs it. You know, especially after the last 12, 18 months or so, we've been let down in regards to so many fights not happening. Most recently, Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury for undisputed at heavyweight. And there's been other occasions as well where fights are not happening. So yeah, this fight getting made would be a huge shot in the arm for boxing. And a fight that would capture the imagination, especially us here on YouTube, who really follow the sport closely. You know, it's going to be fascinating if this fight does get made, to hear people's breakdowns of a fight, their predictions, etc. It'd be really good, so I hope this fight happens, obviously. But again, it has to be said, and I'm not trying to be negative, we have had false dawns in regards to this fight in the past. So I'm not going to get too excited, but this news does feel somewhat significant when the Ring magazine are reporting it. You know, they are basically, would you say, the most credible boxing publication in the world. So if they are reporting on it, then it looks like it's got some legs. But until we get the official announcements, I'm not going to get too excited, because again, we've been teased by this fight before. It's like, you know, in life, I'm sure some of you guys can relate. You talk to a girl, you get to know her, she looks good, she's fine. She's kind of insinuating that things could go further. You know, you're playing the game, you're laying the groundwork, you're putting in the hard miles, you know? You're putting in the hard miles. But for whatever reason, you know, things don't transpire and it doesn't get to that next level. And she's really just after attention. I'm sure we've all been there. Maybe it's just me. Maybe my game isn't at the level in which I think it is. But yeah, this fight does have that vibe about it. It's teased us for a long time, but it's never quite happened. We've got our hopes up, but ultimately ended up with blue balls and had to make do with either our hand or a significant downgrade. That's what this fight's been so far, but maybe we finally get this fight. And again, if it does happen, I really hope the fight delivers. And not only that, hopefully the welterweight division can then get ahead of steam as well, because, you know, there's guys like Jaron Ennis coming up, Virgil Ortiz, Stanionis. Hopefully these guys get in the mix as well, so we can really, you know, restart the welterweight division. It feels like the welterweight division's been at a standstill for a long time. And hopefully this fight happens, hopefully it's good, and it kickstart a resurgence in the division. That's what I'm hoping for. But yeah, I mean, positive news on the surface. It seems that we have hope now that this fight can happen. But again, until we get the official announcement, let's not get too excited, is what I would say. Let's not get too excited, because we may have our hopes dashed by the powers that be in boxing, as tends to happen quite a lot. But anyway, share your thoughts below. Do you think this fight happens on June the 17th? Do you think it happens? And if it does happen, who are you picking, by the way? I'll tell you right now, I'll root for Errol Spence Jr. I prefer his style. But right now, given what's happened with both fighters and their careers, particularly Errol Spence Jr. outside the ring, I would be favouring Crawford. That's how I'm feeling right now. But I may change my mind on that in future, once this fight happens, once we get close. I'll do a prediction for it, obviously. But yeah, share your thoughts below. Beanie Guy Del Boy. Peace.